In this video, I want to compare the Arduino programming that you did last year using what is called Arduino Sketch, which is basically the usual language that is used for programming Arduino, versus what we are going to be studying in Medical Instrumentation 2, which is basically programming in C and programming the microcontroller Atmega 328 directly. Why are we doing this C programming, so to say? Why are we programming the microcontroller directly instead of um, programming using Arduino Sketch? Uh, the programming using Arduino Sketch is usually called high level programming, and we'll just see why it's called that. While programming Atmega 328 directly using C is usually called low level programming. And one way to think about high level programming and low level programming would be to uh, think about think about this scenario. Let's say uh, what I do is I go to my son and say, "Son, here's a letter that I have written, and what I want you to do is I want you to go and post it." Okay, and I give him a sheet of paper where I have printed out something, let's say. So now, so that is a very high level command, right? I have not told him how to do that. I have not told him how to go to the post office. I have not told him uh, what kind of postage I want. I have not told him uh, all the details that are involved there. I've just given him a very, very generic, high level command, and I'm hoping that he has enough resources to execute that instruction or command as a whole. Now, uh, I could do it another way, right? What I could do is I myself could go to the post office and take care of each and every detail of the postage of the letter. I can choose which envelope to use, which size, which color, what kind of postage. I can decide which post office to go, and many other things. Okay, so that would be a very low level uh, program or low level instruction or a low level way of describing the task. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to doing either a high level programming or a low level instruction. With high level, what was the advantage? The advantage was it was so easy for me to do it, right? I only had to say, post the letter, and all the details were taken care of automatically. And that's what Arduino Sketch does. It gives you high level commands so that you don't have to worry about the internal details of how those commands are implemented. The programming language has enough resources to make the program by itself. It hides from you all the details that is involved in implementing that program. Now, on the other hand, think about uh, a low level program. The advantages of that is that you can customize the program according to your requirements. You may decide that a certain uh, aspect of the program needs to be tweaked in a certain way to achieve efficiency in whatever way you define it. So that's the customizability and the ability to tweak the program to do exactly what you want to do is an advantage of low level programming. Uh, on the other hand, also, the low level program allows you to look at the details of how the microcontroller is actually functioning. You don't have anything between you and the microcontroller. There is no other layer. So you are interacting with the microcontroller directly. And that is one of the reasons why we are looking at low level programming, because we want to understand how microcontrollers work. And if you understand how microcontrollers work, you should be able to program in either low level or high level as and when the requirements come in. Let me give you one more reason why we want to do low level programming. Another reason to do this would be to be able, of course, as I said, we understand how a microcontroller functions, but what that would mean is that almost any microcontroller that you use, you'll be able to use it. Because even though some things change from one microcontroller to another microcontroller, and we'll see what changes and what is specific, but the basic concept, the underlying framework of a microcontroller usually doesn't change that much when you go from one to another. And if you know how to program at a low level, you should be able to, you basically are very versatile. You can program any microcontroller that you could get. So that's another reason. Hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of why I'm pushing you to learn uh, low level programming or C programming or programming the microcontroller directly instead of using Arduino Sketch. Of course, you would find that there are certain things that you just cannot do with Arduino Sketch because um, because of the kind of interface that is there in between you and the microcontroller, which you will be able to do with C programming. Now, when I say C programming, I don't want you to be scared. If you have never done a programming language, that's all right. Of course, you would have to learn a little bit of C programming, and we will learn that as we write programs. But the C programming that we're going to be using here is very, very basic. If you have done any programming at all, which could just include programming the Arduino Sketch in microcontrollers in Medical Instrumentation 1, you should be all right.